talent otherwise, you'll be pleased to know that once the show begins, I will return to obscurity. But meanwhile, I thought I'd just provide a little background for what we're going to see and hear. Shirley Arkin decided to bring back memories of the Latin Quarter, which she and Janie Freed presented here a couple of years ago, because many of our residents had never had the opportunity to see the presentation. Shirley and Janie were original showgirls at the famous cabaret on Broadway. Today they'll share their experiences with us. Their positions as showgirls were among the most coveted on Broadway because they often led to jobs in the movies and television and in other Broadway shows. We're very fortunate today to have Mark Aliopoulos again join a Posada show as he portrays the Latin Quarter musical director and production singer. Our own Sandy McCarthy plays the part of Mean Margaret, the wardrobe mistress. The cabaret started at the beginning of the 20th century in France, followed by Russia and Germany. As many of you know, I'm sure, this was portrayed in the Broadway show and then the movie Cabaret by the well-known composers Kander and Ebb. Is everyone hearing me, by the way? Perfect. No problem. If Earl Dubois says perfect, I'm in good shape. After vaudeville and the Ziegfeld Follies ended with the Great Depression, Lou Walters, Barbara Walters' father, came up with the idea of a grand supper club or cabaret. With the financial backing of E.M. Lowe, he opened the Latin Quarter, first in Boston, and then in 1942 on a triangular piece of land at 48th Street and Broadway, close to Times Square, New York City. It was a must-stop for natives and visitors to New York. People lined up every night to get in to see great headliners like Frank Sinatra, Sophie Tucker, Johnny Ray, Milton Berle, Katherine Grayson, and Betty Grable, plus a show with the most beautiful girls in the world. All the bliss plus dinner and dancing for $7.50. Their only competition was the Copacabana on East 60th Street, which also had headline performers and a very small show with a line of beautiful dancers. Opera singers were also on the circuit. The famous opera star Beverly Sills supported herself and her mother by singing in small supper clubs and cabarets. And the Latin Quarter gave a one-week engagement to the winner of the Metropolitan Auditions of the Year. In fact, trying to please every taste, the Latin Quarter had a fully staged opera number in every show. After Mr. Walters gambled away his small interest in the club, it was taken over by the well-known gentleman Don Arkin of Las Vegas and the famous Lido in Paris. The show became even more lavish and more expensive, still with the most beautiful girls in the world, as you will soon see for yourselves. The Latin Quarter closed in 1969 after the girls went on strike. The piece of land is now occupied by the Renaissance Hotel. Shirley Arkin and her friend Janie Freed were two of the lucky girls who worked at both the New York and the Palm Island, Miami Beach Latin Quarters. Our show takes place on the stage of the Latin Quarter in New York City way back then. The costumes used in today's show are not the originals, but the posters do show Shirley and Janie in their original costumes. A tour of the original costumes was organized by the Metropolitan and Boston Museums of Art. There were exhibitions in museums throughout the United States, and Shirley's original costumes were in the exhibition. Quite a story. For those intrigued by this piece of entertainment history, there will be a short question and answer session right after the show. Thank you.
Square, all for jobs at the Latin Quarter as a showgirl. And Mr. Walters said, you, sit over there, and the rest of you, thank you and goodbye. And when he said you, I'm looking around and saying, who was you? It was me. And they gave me this leotard and this rack because, would you believe I went to a Broadway casting call in a bathing suit? I didn't even know what a leotard was. Well, it was quite exciting, and here I am. You know the story of a girl, small town. Well, I came from Philadelphia. I guess it wasn't exactly small town, but when I finished college and got on a bus to go to New York to make my way on Broadway, or in my case, really, at the Metropolitan Opera. That was my dream. So I moved into the YWCA, and they said, you've got to get a job. We'll give you 1 month to get a job, otherwise you can't stay here. Well, I didn't know what to do. And someone said, but you're tall. You could be a showgirl at the Latin Quarter. And that's how I ended up going to that call. And I said, well, what do they do? And they said, nothing. You just stand on the stage in fancy clothes like a big dummy. I thought, okay. So I went over, and this is what happened. Well, I'm sitting there, and they gave me this leotard and this wrap because, as I told you, I was wearing a bathing suit. And Mr. Walters came over to me and said, that's Barbara Walters' father. He was part owner of the Latin Quarter. And he said, I think you'd make a good showgirl. But Mr. Walters, you don't understand, I'm a singer. Oh, he said, singers are a dime a dozen. I need showgirls. Oh, but please, I'm an opera singer, and I understand that sometimes you have opera numbers in your show, just like the Ziegfeld Follies, and maybe I could be even a backup singer or something. He said, well, all right, I don't know, but the first thing you have to do is go over and see Margaret. She's the wardrobe mistress, and find out whether the costumes look okay. Well, she's the bottom line. And then after that, go and see Mark. Now, Mark is our musical director and our production singer. So he'll listen to you, and then we'll go from there. But right now, I'm interested in you as a showgirl. So I headed over to the dressing room. And what a shock. The dressing room was a long corridor, like a railroad train. It was right along Broadway, 48th Street and Broadway. And there were 30 girls sitting in a row, facing the mirrors. There was only room for one girl to walk by, because right behind them were the costumes. And they were nude from the waist up. That meant there were 60 bare breasts in the mirror. And I looked and I thought, gosh, I know I'm naive or something. I didn't know they came in so many different sizes and shapes. I was so embarrassed. Then I ran into this very lovely lady here.
Hi, I'm Janie.
Hi,
Are you the new showgirl?
Well, I'm not sure. I'm just trying out for the job.
Well, you're going to have to see Margaret. Now, with Margaret, we call her Mean Margaret. So you have to be very nice to her, do everything she tells you, otherwise you're in for a lot of trouble.
Well, listen, Janie, I really never did this before. This is a brand new experience. I've never been a showgirl. I just finished school in Philadelphia, and I have a scholarship here in New York, and I really need this job, really.
You never worked before?
No.
Well, I have a secret also. I started here when I was only 16. And if you get hired, I will teach you all the ropes.
Yeah, but Janie, I already finished college. Maybe I'm too old for this job.
I will keep your secret.
Okay. Margaret,
Are you the new girl, the new showgirl?
well, I don't know yet, but Mr. Walters told me to come and see you.
Take that tape off. You must be awfully warm.
Yeah, it's pretty hot.
You can hang it up over here.
Okay, thank you.
Turn around. Let me see you in that leotard. Well, you can try the showboat costume on. We're putting on Showboat. The Follies always does something about Showfolk for Ziegfeld.
Okay.
You want to see if you can fit into that?
I don't know.
I think we have an umbrella that might go with it. I don't know. You got to be very careful of these costumes now. They're made, handmade. They have real gold on them, and you have to wear them every night for a whole year.
Wow.
So you've got to take very good care of them. They're like gold. Oh, and by the way, don't smoke.
Oh, I don't smoke. I'm a singer.
Well, all right.
Well, anyway, this was the showboat costume that I use in the shows nowadays. But this is the costume, the original showboat costume. And many of you, I hope you can see it. If not, you can come up after the show. Actually, this was, you see a little parasol? This had a big white hoop skirt. And it was all white satin, and it was all in lattice work, so you could see the legs through the skirt. And it was quite fabulous. And I bet you that Margaret and her team had quite a job keeping those white outfits in shape for a whole year. But they were lovely. And on the other side here, at the bottom, you can see Janie with her parasol that had all kinds of feathers. Janie was the dancer, I was the showgirl. That was a big caste system in the show at that time.
Okay, how did that work?
I think this was okay. What do you think?
I think you'll look pretty good in that, but you know what? I have this for you. And this is real gold. Be careful. Be careful. Don't mess it up.
I'll be very careful.
Tie it properly.
You know, I'm really a singer.
Oh,
I'm
really?
hoping.
That's what they told you, eh?
Well, yeah, I'm hoping that Mark will listen to me afterwards.
Okay, well, let's see what kind of a singer you are. Give it a try, girl.
Oh, you must be
is that
Shirley.
Mark?
Are you Shirley? Nice to meet you.
Hi,
Hi, I'm Mark. I'm the
I'm Shirley
music
Forrest.
director, production singer, turn on the karaoke machine, set the poster suite before you name it, I do it.
Okay.
So tell me something about yourself.
Well, I just graduated from the University of Pennsylvania, and I studied voice at Curtis Institute of Music in Philadelphia.
Mr. Walters really only wants you to be a showgirl, but once in a while we do have someone out, and we could use a backup singer, and, well, that surely sounds like you would be qualified. We usually have an opera number in every show, but opera's not what we do a lot of, because we have folks from all over the place, and they really like to hear songs from the current shows on Broadway, but I'm telling you, this Spanish costume is speaking to me. Do you know anything from Carmen?
Yeah.
I'd love to hear some of that training. Rarely sick, but we love to cover ourselves because we never know what's really going to happen. Is there a possibility you might know that song from the movie The Kissing Bandit, Love Is Where You Find It? Well, you know, Catherine Grayson, and she often graces our club. She's going to be here next month, and she'll probably sing it. And Frank Sinatra is in and out quite often. He's performed here and comes quite regularly. Now, I have some recordings from our orchestral rehearsals. You do know that we perform with full orchestra.
Yes, I do.
Have you ever sung with a full orchestra before?
Yes, in little companies in Philadelphia.
Good. All right, let me try you on Love Is Where You Find It.
Okay. here, by the way, Margaret had even warned me one time to be careful going down the steps because the orchestra was in between two flights of steps, which you'll be able to see. And let's see, one of these pictures here. There was the orchestra and the two flights of steps. And Margaret had said, be careful now, don't fall down those steps. What do you think happened? I fell down the steps, of course, and they still kept me. Okay, Mark.
Well, Mr. Walters has told me that he's considering hiring you, but remember, just as a showgirl, maybe a backup singer sometimes. But Lerner and Lowe are very, very popular, and in our book here, I've got a duet that we'd love to try you out for, because, again, we never know when somebody's going to not be here. This is from that famous musical Paint Your Wagon. It's called I Talk to the Trees.
Okay, I'll try it.
And you know, my Fair Lady's always requested, I'll bet you know I could have danced on
I
it.
do know, yeah. I couldn't go to bed. My head's too light to try to put it down. Sleep, sleep. I couldn't go to sleep. Not for all the jewels in the town. Could have danced all night. Could have danced all night. And still had they more. I could have spread my wings and done 1,000 things I've never done before. I never thought it made it so enticing, but all at once my heart took flight. I only know when he began to dance with me, I could have danced all night. I could have danced all night. I could have danced all night. And still that day I could have spread my wings and done 1,000 things I've never done before. I never know what made it so enticing, but all at once my heart took flight. I only know when he began to dance with me, I could have danced all night.
Jane, why don't we take a look at that new number you're working on for the show? Oh, I almost forgot the mail. Let's see. Shirley Matilda Feldman, Shirley Matilda Feldman. Shirley Matilda Feldman. Wait a minute, who the hell is Shirley Matilda Feldman? All this mail for her.
That's me, Mark.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, you see, I'm sorry. My real name is Shirley Matilda Feldman. Now, could you see the name Shirley Matilda Feldman on the marquee of the Metropolitan Opera or at Carnegie Hall? So, no. So, back in those days, we changed our name. So my name was Shirley Forrest. But my father he was so aggravated about my coming to New York to begin with and coming to the Latin Quarter. He didn't talk to me for a whole year. He said, "It's a shonda from the neighbors. I can't talk to anybody. It's a disgrace. Come home and be a nice school teacher." So he would send these big postcards with all that in heavy print to embarrass me. He sent it to the Lloyd and he also sent it to the Latin Quarter. But my mom was different. My mom really had a great time. Mothers are that way. So she would hop the bus and she would come up to New York and to see the show and to have dinner and everything. And her favorite line was, "Well, what schmata are you wearing tonight?" Does everybody know what that is? Somebody say what it is in case you don't know. Rags. Yeah, what rags are you going to wear tonight? I said, "Mom, these are fantastic costumes. They were designed by Erte. They were designed by Freddie Whittar. who got the Tony Awards for doing Hello Dolly. And I understand some of you recently saw Hello Dolly up here. Anyway, he got the award for the original show. And the costumes are really quite fabulous. For instance, this costume, which doesn't look like it's a lot of costume, but that costume cost $5,000. That was my costume. I'll tell you more about it later. By the way, I forgot to tell you that this was the gypsy costume in the original show. I'll hold this up. This is the original gypsy costume that I wore in the last quarter. Anyway, so tonight my mom came up to see Kismet, and we're going to do something from Kismet.
send me in dark despair from all that I hunger for. But hold your angel's eyes to that stranger in paradise. And tell me that I need last stranger.
You don't mind my changing all these costumes. Why don't you do that? I didn't think you would.
Margaret, have you warned the girls that Lou Walters is out?
Lou Walters is out?
Yes.
Oh, no. I didn't know that. I have news. Lou Walters is out, and Don Arkin of the Lido in Paris and Las Vegas is taking over the show. You'll most likely lose your job. Arkin likes to start all over again with new girls, like ones from Europe. Well, good luck.
Hey, I mean, I just got this job, Margaret. And now they're going to fire me?
Yep.
I'm going to have to go home and be a high school teacher, like my father said. Oh, boy. Well, anyway, that was true. Lou Walters had gambled away his interest, his small interest in the Latin Quarter. And they brought in Don Arkin, who was very famous all over the world for the Lido shows in Paris. And they told us to come to the call, so I went to the casting call. But, you know, Margaret said, forget it. They're going to hire you. Well, I went to the call, and frankly, I've never seen anything quite like it. He was really mean. He went down the row and he said, I don't like your hair, I don't like your cheek, I don't like your eye. I mean, these poor girls must have gone home the rest of their life looking at their cheeks or their eyes and wondering what was really wrong. And he picked 3 girls. And I was one. And Jackie was one. And another gal, I don't know where she is here, this one, Life magazine. Patty Farrell was the 3rd girl. Everybody else was fired. And he said, and you, and I'm looking around, who you is, me, you're going to be my lead show girl. And I said, but James, what does that mean? And she said, it means at the very beginning of the show, they're going to pull out, open the curtain, and you're the first one out. You're the star. I don't want to be the first one out. I want to be the last one out. Anyway, he said, that's it. Take it or leave it. You're going to work 7 nights a week. I'll give you an extra $25. So I said, at $75, I made $100. And this happened to be the costume that I wore. And needless to say, it attracted some attention. And because I was the first girl out, because I was the only college graduate, I got all the interviews. I got on all the Life magazine 3 times. I got in Walter Winchell's column probably a dozen times or more. That's when my father began to come around and say, well, I guess it can't be so bad, you know, after all. But that's what happened when I was featured gal there. So we got the job, and we remained with Don Arkin, which was a tremendous privilege, and we were really happy to have been able to do that.
Well, you know, you still have the voice that could have been an opera star if you'd gone that route. And Sammy Davis Jr. just opened a new Porgy and Bess movie, and the music for that Gershwin opera is really popular here. Besides, you know, Sammy Davis Jr., he's in here every other night. He loves the shows, and especially the girls. Would you take a look at
I wanted to tell you one thing, Mark, that was interesting, because when I did become the lead showgirl, I was all of a sudden offered all kinds of jobs in Broadway. You know, people didn't really want to have. They were all things like the stripper in Gypsy, Stupefying Jones in Will and Abner, the showgirl in A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Farm. And I never took any of those auditions because I didn't want to be stereotyped as a showgirl. Now I wonder, many years later, did I make a mistake?
Well, I don't know. Why don't we take a look at this duet from Porgy and Bess?
All right.
Don't summertime and wintertime. From this day I'm telling you, I kiss the sky, all my dancing
Well, things have changed a great deal on Broadway today. I wish I'd been that way when I was there. But now we have different kinds of musicals, things like Phantom of the Opera and Chorus Line, and things that are quite contemporary and are almost like opera. And I think we've got a very wonderful, my former roommate, who's going to dance to something from Chorus Line, which really describes the hardships of the young people when they are trying to get a break.
Shirley, you know, Phantom of the Opera is in its 25th year on Broadway now. I mean, we were in elementary school when that was first on Broadway. And would you sing something from it? It's my favorite song, Think of Me.
Okay. You
Follies, Shirley describes our two Broadway babies. It perfectly fits these Latin Quarter ladies from way back then.
Janet, you want to see what happened to my roommate? There she is. Don't be match. Walking 42nd Street to be in a show. Oh, Broadway, baby. Learning how to sing and dance. Waiting for that great big chance to be in a show. Gee, I'd like to be on a Arkin. Oh, twinkling lights, a light to spark the dark at Battery Park to Washington Heights. Someday, maybe, if I play long enough. Hey, I'd even like to play the name to be in a show. Hey, Mr. Producer, I'm talking to you, sir. I don't need a lot, only what I got. Attitude, a grease bean, and a follow spot.
Someday, maybe, if they stick it long